A very warm welcome to the UEL Sports Dock for this red-hot clash in the BWB Women's Premier League 2025 as the table-topping East London Phoenix host the Loughborough Lightning in their first meeting of the season and, crucially, their first meeting since last year's final that saw Loughborough clinch their third title in a row with a 73-44 victory. My name is Darren Paul. Alongside me is GB Under-23 London Titan UEL student and my co-commentator today, Joel Clifton. Joel, how are you?
I'm good, Darren. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to being on comms with you again and seeing some great basketball action, seeing some great talent be presented to us on the floor today.
Now, we are in for a real treat, of course. The history between these two teams doesn't need much explanation, but we'll give it them anyway. Joel, just break down the history of these two sides.
100%. There's going to be a lot of emotions out there on the floor tonight. These two teams have been the two teams that have been in the Women's Premier League final for the previous 3 seasons. And Loughborough have taken every single one of those, doing the three-peats at the playoffs in May last year. And this is the first time, as you said, they've met this season. There's been a lot of rivalries between individual players and the coaches. I know have a bit of energy around that. And it's just going to be a full clash. I'm imagining hard chair contact. I'm imagining maybe a bit of trash talk here and there from a few players. And I know that either team will not stop providing the firepower for these full 40 minutes, Darren. So I'm very excited to see this game today.
Let's take a closer look at the visiting Loughborough Lightning. Only played the one game this year. That was a victory over Worcester, which some people do look at as an upset, which is strange that sounds, but of course this is a very different looking Loughborough side. A lot of year one players, as in they've been with the programme throughout, but now it's their time to really step up and shine.
Exactly. What I like about this Loughborough team is they've got a couple of junior players that are sort of coming into their stride. We talked before we went live about Anastasia Bleese's great performance in their last game against Worcester, scoring 17 points and top scoring for the team. And also pointing out players like Kaylee English, Holly Lowndes, Alana Brand, all coming up through and coming of age through the past few seasons and now making their sort of big marks in this Women's Premier League. So it's a different look for Loughborough this year, but a lot of youth and a lot of energy, which I like to see.
Yeah, I was talking to head coach George Bates for the game. He says this is a good test for his team. They're going to see where they're at in terms of their development moving forward. Let's take a look at the league leaders, the table-topping East London Phoenix, 4-0 record. Who's standing out for you to make the difference today?
Oh, that's a good question, Darren. I think in terms of a scoring perspective, it's going to be difficult for the Lightning to stop the likes of Amy Conroy and Dutch international Zina Wimmenhofer getting into that charge circle early and transition right under the basket and making the easy twos. I think on a general point, Phoenix's press is going to be something quite difficult to Loughborough to handle from a defensive perspective.
Yeah, Conroy really was the standout last time in their win over the Mohawks. 22, 21 and 8. That is 22 points, 21 rebounds, 8 assists. Zina Wimmenhofer, she had 30 points, 8 rebounds in the contest. So, like you say, big impact players right there. The Phoenix have taken the floor, and it will be Conroy going up for the initial tip. She's joined by Julia van der Sprung, Beth Wheeler, DB Steele, and I believe that is Sophie Carrigill.
And it seems the Loughborough Lightning starting 5 is coming onto the floor now. We've got number 14, Kaylee English, number 17, Jessica White, number 16, Holly Lowndes, number 12, Anastasia Bleese, and number 13, I believe, Siobhan Nethercott.
So for the opening tip-off, it will be Conroy going against Holly Lowndes. Our match officials today, Alejandro Martinez-Naya and Frances Kremerick. So that's going to go the way of Loughborough Lightning for the first time up the floor. And it is Nethercott to the top with English. Guarded closely by Beth Wheeler. Nice pass over the top to Anna Bleese. Time to shoot it. Just rims and out.
Seems that Phoenix are just kind of testing the water with Bleese's shot there as they go in transition with Van der Sprung.
Into the middle. That was foul on the floor. The actual shot attempt from Wheeler blocked, but it was all too little too late. It's with Conroy just outside the painted area. And that's her home.
Like I said, Darren, just before we started, Conroy finding her way into the key early and getting those easy twos up is just going to rack up the points for her and her team.
So Lowndes tries to kick it over the timeline to English. They do get it to Blees. Now Blees one-on-one with Van der Sprung. Now Blees has a lane. Has it cut off? Now a bit more patient play. 8 seconds to shoot it for the Lightning. Nethercott. It's in good position. Just back iron.
It's unlucky on the shot there, but now we see a fast transition from the Phoenix. Amy Conroy wide open for the layup, which she converts for another 2.
Conroy leading the way for East London Phoenix. There's Beth Wheeler. You saw her kicking out in transition.
And now, Darren, we see the press break from the Lightning here, making sure they get one player over to receive the ball before the 8-second call, which they've done. Now they pick and work together to get over, which they have. They can get into their offense with Lowndes on the edge of the key. Can't get it to go.
And that's going to just trickle out of bounds, so it will stay with the Lightning. Other offensive possession for them, 14 seconds to work with. Anna Blees on the inbound. She will go to the top of key with Jessica White, gets it back. That's a good spot to shoot it, and it goes!
Tell you, Darren, one thing, if the Lightning need to sort of get off the ground offensively, Anastasia Blees behind the screen is going to be one of the first things they look for, and it'd be good for her to sort of get those 2 points and get into her rhythm early.
As Conroy driving through the middle. Gets a look, gets a shot.
Goes all the way herself. Finds her position, and she's not going to miss many from there.
Not at all. I think Lowndes would probably feel that they did a good job on that possession. Stopped her. Couldn't stop the shot. As White, trying to break this pressure like you're talking about, finds Blees. Blees going one-on-one with Van der Sprung. And looking for support. Still with Anna Blees. It's going to go for the long 2. It's just short. And Carrigill going to take it the other way.
So you see Beth Wheeler here doing a great job keeping Holly Lowndes out of the defense, so Phoenix have a 5-on-4 advantage going down in transition.
Carrigill sends it into the painted area once again. It's the Conroy show. A really good find from Carrigill.
Yeah, it's a great use of the man out and the crossing the floor well and using their speed from Phoenix to find that open shot in the paint.
Very nearly taken away from English by Carrigill, one of the top defenders in the country, as it's Blees. Does find the pass, but it's being made really to work for it. Everything Lightning get nothing simple. 2 seconds to shoot it. That's been battered away. And it will go out of bounds.
And that's one of the great utilities of a press like East London Phoenix are putting on here, because even though the Lightning are getting across the halfway line, it does mean when they get into their offense, they have less time, less seconds on the shot clock to actually set up how they'd like to, forcing difficult end of the shot clock passes like that lead to turnovers.
Timeout has been taken by the Loughborough Lightning. They are down 8-2. And we are early in the game. 6:19 play to go in the first period of play. Talk to me. What is George Bates going to be talking to his players about right now?
Well, from a defensive perspective, I feel like all 5 Loughborough players need to do what they can to get back on defense. That is where Phoenix are hurting them the most, is that transition where you get a quick pick out, cross in transition, and it leads to an open layup, or Conroy being able to take the ball and lead herself right to the charge circle for an easy shot. They need to be getting back as early as possible so they can look behind, check their shoulders, see who's coming down, stop chairs early, and prevent the easy ones. Because I think once you can get into the half-court defense, where you're all set up around the key, it's been much easier to put Phoenix in positions where they have to take shots with lower percentage. So I think the press break generally is going quite well for the Lightning here. It's just they're getting some difficulty getting back in transition and stopping Phoenix early.
About ready to get back underway. Van der Sprung and Conroy. Back to Van der Sprung, bringing the ball up. Oh, Van der Sprung. That's a great drive Couldn't get the shot to go.
Seems that Phoenix have taken off the press just briefly,
Yeah,
and they're now into a high line defense.
Yeah, Lowndes able to bring it up with ease. And hands off to Blees. Being held to the mid-range, puts the shot up. Doesn't get the favourable bounce. And they're trying to slow down Van der Sprung as it's Conroy cutting inside. Has players in support. Finds Carrigill inside. Shot doesn't quite go. Lowndes gobbles up the rebound. And it's Blees keeping it away from Carrigill. Got to get over the timeline. And that's an 8-second violation. Talk to us about how they prevented them getting over.
It's a good hustle from Sophie Carrigill there, just to slow the ball down and make Anastasia Blees just hesitate a little bit and cause her to pause before going over that halfway line, which means they just scraped over the 8 seconds and forced that turnover, as we see Zena Wimmenhofer coming onto the floor for Amy Conroy for the first time, the Dutch international. And another change for the Lightning as Alana Brand, number 19, comes into the game with Holly Lowndes taking a breather.
It's Steele at the top of the key, and Wimmenhofer. First time she's touched the ball, she puts it home.
I've also just got to comment on the great curl from Sophie Carrigill there to get Zena into that position under the basket, and Zena's ability to shoot through the contact with a Loughborough player in front of her and behind her was really impressive.
Really high pressure. English does get it over the timeline to Blees. He's trying to get some separation now from Steele. Has English driving fast to the corner. Doesn't end up able to use her. Does find Brand. Brand puts it up from the mid-range. Can't go. That's been pulled down by DB Steele. Has a runner ahead. Kicks it out to Wheeler underneath. Wimmenhofer gets her own rebound. Puts it down.
Another great transition move from the Phoenix there, and Zena picking up her own rebound and managing to finish it off for 2. As we see Loughborough working this press break. Can they get the ball over the halfway line in time?
Yeah, Northcott having to heave it and chase for White. White brings it in. And immediately got Wimmenhofer for company. Blees. So much ball handling responsibility on this Welsh player. And time expires. I tell you, that shot was not a million miles away.
It's a good defensive suffocation from the Phoenix there to keep Anastasia Blees just by the 3-point line. And I think they did well on the press initially, as it was a struggle to get the ball over half. See, Jess White did very, very well to deal with that pass and recover the ball.
Steele sends it inside. Wheeler off the glass, no good. Battle around. Who's going to come up with it? It's White for Loughborough. And they've got another player up the floor. It's English under pressure. High off the backboard. Blees gets the offensive board. Low trajectory shot. Really good defense from Van der Sprung, who then holds that Blees coming the other way. DB Steele has it for the Phoenix. Players ahead of her now. Van der Sprung in the mid-range. 8 seconds to shoot it. Patient play by the Phoenix. Just short rims it. Blees looking to break away quickly. But fantastic defense from the Phoenix as we have a foul on the floor.
That's a smart foul, Darren. I think that was number 12, Anastasia Blees. She saw that DB Steele had stolen the ball and they had a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 in the paint, I believe. And that's a smart chair contact foul. You've got 5 to burn at the end of the day, and if you're stopping a layup, you're stopping an easy 2 points.
12 plays 2. Substitution on the floor. That is Jess Atherley checking in for Siobhan Northcott. Sorry, Nethercott. It's underneath. Wimmenhofer off the glass. Good for 2 on the assist. Julia Van der Sprung.
Just automatic from Zena in the paint. She's not going to be missing many of those today, I assume.
White got that pass away. Now Blees. And being held up by DB Steele. Elena Bland. Still Brand, 4 to shoot it. fouled on the shot. She's going to go to the line to shoot two. First foul on the Phoenix, and it's been called on Beth Wheeler.
Judging from her facial expressions, it seems that Beth thought that was an all-ball block, but referee thought differently, and now Brand will go to the line for two.
It's a rare day when a player thinks they've really committed a foul. First is good from Elena Brand.
Elena Brand also plays in the National League for the Aylesbury Aces. And is a Loughborough University student. She takes her second free throw and makes no mistakes with that. 2 from 2. Very, very impressive.
Had 11 points last time in that win over Worcester. One of the leading lights for this Loughborough side. It's Beth Wheeler. Hits the side of the backboard, gets her own rebound. Tries to kick it inside to Carrigill, but that's going to be batted away only as far as Wheeler. 6 to shoot. Shot goes up from outside. Little too strong. Loughborough, are they going to come away with it? Yes, they will, as there's a foul on the floor. And it is once again Beth Wheeler.
And it seems in this dead time, Phoenix no longer feeling they should press as it's a dead ball, so they go back to their high line defense here, trying to keep the Loughborough players away from the edge of the key, not able to set up that easy two-man game with the screen. As we've got a steal there from Sophie Carrigill, intercepting the pass to Anastasia Blees.
Beth Wheeler carrying it up the floor, sends it inside. Wiemenhofer, good for 2 more. Wiemenhofer, automatic inside right now. 16 plays 4 in favour of the hosts. It's Blees once again. Just when one Paralympian came for her, so did another.
It's a charge, I think, just called on Anastasia Blees, not fully in control of her chair as she passed that ball to Brand and went into Sophie Carrigill's foot plate. Maybe, you know, if I was playing this game, I'd be a bit annoyed if I got called for a charge there, as it's a bit light. But the way it goes sometimes, you can't argue with the referee.
Second personal foul, third team foul, 1:10 to play in the opening period of play here. And it's kicked to the top with Wheeler, who finds Wiemenhofer, who finds the net.
That's showing a sort of variation in Zena's game there, not just going inside and making the easy ones, but also able to take those edge-of-the-key mismatches and drain them too, showing her class as a player.
So Loughborough get it over the timeline. They've got a 2-on-1 just for a moment. English looking for that pass for Athlete, just a dash too short. Taken in by Julia van der Sprung. Has Steele driving to the corner. Still with van der Sprung, gets right to her spot. Puts it home. Patient play.
It's also a great pick from Beth Wheeler there to just send Julia van der Sprung into a 1-on-0 situation, an easy layup.
Shot clock is all but off as Loughborough looking for the final shot of the period. 10 seconds to shoot it. As Brand forced into a tricky spot in the corner. Likes her look. Off the side of the backboard, and that is going to do it. Quarter 1 is in the books, and it is the East London Phoenix. They're in the lead, and you have to say they're looking pretty in control. After 10 minutes play, they're up 20 over the Loughborough Lightning.
Yeah,
to
Darren.
4.
Yeah, Darren. It's a great first quarter for the Phoenix. You know, no complaints if you're a Phoenix fan or coach, Adio Ogbemi. Because they've just been shown a great sort of display of physicality here and their ability to press and slow down the Loughborough Lightning offense so that they're forced into sort of late shot clock shots and late shot clock turnovers. And equally down on their offensive end, they've been able to move the ball and get down the floor quickly and cross and weave and find the open man to get open lanes and easy layups. And that's why the scoreline is how it is.
If you're East London Phoenix, is there anything you're looking to change or adjust after that first 10 minutes of play?
I think it's one of those where you've got to continue and stay disciplined in what you want to do. It's very easy at this point in the game to get complacent, to ease off, to make silly mistakes, to pick up a few bad habits, whereas if you want to stay disciplined as a team and stick to your principles and your structure, you have to maintain that across the whole 40 minutes, no matter what the score is. So it's a mental test for both teams when you have games with scorelines like this, I think.
And in terms of Loughborough, what's the one key adjustment you think they could potentially make to get them right back into this contest?
I think it's things with the press, right? Is a press is a lot of the time very psychological. It forces you into positions you maybe don't want to be in on offense, out of your balance, out of the sort of written down structure or offense that head coach George Bates might have put. And so what I'd be saying to my Loughborough players is to just take a breather on offense. They're actually doing quite well to get over the half and get into their half-court offense. But once you're there, run your sets, know what you do, trust your shooters, and make the right reads, because at the end of the day, you can convert from there.
We are back underway. Second quarter action here at the Sports Dock, home of the East London Phoenix. As Curran Brown underneath, can't quite get it to go. And Brand there with a big defensive rebound. As Loughborough, like you say, they're able to get it over the timeline with 14 seconds to work. Niamh Horan, so good to see her back playing. Her first game in quite some time. Shot goes up, just short. That's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Phoenix ball.
And that's what I kind of mean there, Darren, right? They got over the press, which is good. They get into that nice two-man game, and Niamh Horan had a wide-open shot there. Unlucky that she couldn't make it, but that's a much more calm way of playing offense. Not a turnover, not a bad pass, but the right shot and a good shot to take.
Sophie Patterson taking it up the floor for the first time, and a bit of a breakdown there. Wiemenhofer not alive to the pass, or just a dash too late. As Brand once again wasting no time getting up the floor, might go for it herself, just a dash too strong. Really good offensive rebound though from Horan, who's looking for Lowndes. Gets it back in the corner, inside. And that's going to be a held ball. Who gets the possession arrow? It's going to stay with Loughborough.
That's unfortunate, Darren, because as much as it didn't lead to a score or even a shot, that to me is the best offense we've seen Loughborough play all game, because they set up a nice two-man game, pick and roll there. Niamh Horan was jumped and Alana Brandt had a roll into the key. It's just unfortunate the pass couldn't get there.
As time, well, the shot goes up. And a foul on the play. Battling away was Holly Lowndes. Takes the offensive rebound. I think, do you know what, actually, that's something that they've done really well so far, is getting those second chance opportunities. And she goes to the stripe.
Holly Lowndes, part of the GB under-25 women's team that competed at the recent
the first to go.
The under-25 World Championships back in November 2023. A silver medalist in that tournament. As she
just off to the right on the second. And now really working hard to... And now she's been trapped by Wiemenhofer and Curran Brown. So they've worked really hard to keep her in the backcourt as Patterson. As Conroy driving inside. It's still Patterson. Finds Wiemenhofer just through her hands. As Wheeler not able to keep it in play.
It's unfortunate. It's the right read. It's the right pass. Just sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes you moisturise a bit too much and the ball slips out your fingers. That's life and that's basketball.
As Horan over the timeline. Wasn't thinking about the three. Gets to the charity stripe. Lowndes puts it up, puts it down. Boneless from Lowndes.
It's a clean mismatched shot on the elbow there from Holly Lowndes. She needs to take a few more of those. That one looked good, and if that's something that Lightning can replicate, then why not?
As it's Conroy. Good pass over to Wiemenhofer. Wiemenhofer is fouled in the act of shooting. We will see exactly who that was on. It was on Brand. So Stena Wiemenhofer to the charity stripe for the first time today. First is good.
I appreciate the speed of that. No free throw routine, no fluffy multiple bounces. Just get the ball, shoot it, put it in the hole. Makes no mistake with both.
Good
2 from 2.
We might need to dissect that from a psychology point of view when we get a chance. A little bit later as Wiemenhofer steals it back. Has movement. Oh. He's being just patient play. Finds Beth Wheeler. She can let them fly. Instead goes to get it back to Wiemenhofer. Curran Brown finds Wheeler. But Wheeler, 3-second call. So the basket, of course, won't count. 22 plays 7, 77-26 to go in this second period of play. That's Kaylee English. Has room, gets to the elbow. Finds Brand. I think Karen Brown's going to get called for one.
I think that was a holding foul on Curran there, just keeping Brand's chair in a fixed position in an illegal manner. Loughborough have the ball off the inbound with Jessica White, the top of the key.
Yeah, long find for White. It's back to English. Puts the shot up. A little bit too strong into the hands of Patterson. And again, Conroy, one of the fastest players in the league, driving ahead of Beth Wheeler. Wheeler, fabulous find to Wiemenhofer. A little bit too strong, batted back to Wheeler. Puts it down. Beth Wheeler for 2.
It's a great offensive board there from Zena. She knew that she wasn't quite able to catch the ball, so a quick tap over to Wheeler in the middle of the key for an easy 2. That's great teamwork and great basketball IQ from Wiemenhofer.
It just looked like it opened up a second for Niamh Horan, but 8-second call is made. So Phoenix, after that fabulous make, back on offense once again. 14 seconds to work with. Finds Curran at the top. And it's Wheeler. Puts it up. Just off the mark. Back to Wheeler. Once again, same result, but another offensive rebound. That one will go out of play.
It's a fantastic offensive rebound from Sophie Patterson, able to recycle the offense and give them another chance. Unfortunate that Wheeler just couldn't quite make that one. And the ball goes to the Lightning.
Niamh Horan over the timeline. It's Patterson, can't go anywhere. Now finds a way to the break, gets it inside. Lowndes a little bit too strong on the attempt, and Wheeler will come away with it over the timeline. 2 players ahead of her. Puts it up. No good. Brand with the rebound. And again, Loughborough, like you said, doing a good job of getting over the timeline. Though that one bounces awkwardly off the chair. It's into the hands of Wiemenhofer. Not known for her outside shooting. Instead, turns provider for Wheeler. Wheeler not able to finish. So Loughborough, can they capitalise now? No, they can't.
A fantastic pass there from Kaylee English to find Niamh Horan on the fast break, but Conroy did well to recover using her speed and contest Horan's shot just enough to force a miss.
That's Conroy. Gets into the offensive zone. Oh, fabulous find and a top finish. Beth Wheeler finds Conroy for 2.
It's a fantastic baseline curl from Curran Brown to give Amy the clear lane into the key, and she converts for 2. Great team play from the Phoenix.
Once again, Loughborough will do well to get over the timeline. They do. That's a good find once again from English. That one to Lowndes. And that's Niamh Horan once again on the outside. Puts the shot up. No good. As it's going to be a race. Amy Conroy doesn't lose many of those. Great pressure from Loughborough. Not quite enough. Good for 2 more.
Perhaps Conroy wanted the foul there on that contact from Lowndes, but makes the shot through the contact and does well to keep control of her chair in the key and get that easy angle for a 2.
Brand with it. That's fabulous defense from Patterson. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I think Neve did a great job to break the high line of the Phoenix and get a lane into the key. The pass just needed to be slightly higher and a bit more loop to find her, and hopefully she'd then have the layup. I do feel like in this second quarter, the Lightning I don't know if it's the Lightning doing a great job on defense, maybe a combination of these two, the Lightning's defense and Phoenix being a bit more rushed on their shots and forcing a few turnovers, but they seem to have calmed down the offensive pressure of the Phoenix in that second period. I think Coach George Bates will be happier with the Lightning defense in this second quarter.
Yeah, they've definitely slowed it down. 4:20 to play in the first half. They've so far only got 8 points in the period. By this point, they were well into double digits.
Yeah, exactly. I think that shows maybe a little bit more physicality on defense from the Lightning, hitting the Phoenix players' chairs a bit more, just throwing them off their game a little bit more, and lowering the efficiency of shots. So if I'm Coach Adi Orogbemi for the Phoenix, I'd be just saying to take our time and understand what we want to get out of our offense. Somebody might be inside early, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to make that really difficult pass. Sometimes it's far better to keep the ball in safe hands and use up more of the shot clock to get the better shot and the cleaner lane for an easier scoring opportunity.
3:50 left in the first half. 28 plays 7. It's the East London Phoenix. They're in the lead, and at the end of the first we said they're pretty in control. I would say that is less the case right now, as foul is called on Wiemenhofer. It's another one on the floor, and that is at least their third team foul. I think it might even be their fourth. That's English looking for the pass. Little bit too much mustard on that one.
I think just a slight bit of miscommunication there between the two offensive wings of the Lightning, leading that missed pass. You see Sophie Carrigill working hard to keep Kaylee English out of the game and give Phoenix that offensive advantage of 5-on-4.
As Karen Brown has it on the outside. Back to 5-on-5 action. As DB Steele just front rims it. I like that shot attempt though. As again, back to 5-on-5 on this end of the floor as Brand dumps it off inside. That's a great find, it's a great finish. And she's going to line to try and add one more. Holly Lowndes.
Great ball movement and great work from the Lightning to find the open person, and fantastic work from Holly Lowndes to score that through contact and get the opportunity for an extra point with this free throw.
Just a little bit too strong. Nearly an offensive rebound. Instead, it's going to be DB Steele taking it up the floor. Has Karen Brown in support. Conroy as well, trying to go under the basket. It's Wiemenhofer. Through the pressure. No, doesn't get it to go.
So that's good recovery there from the Lightning. They had a disadvantage on defense, and just to double Zena in the paint, forcing a hard shot, means that they came away with the ball and without conceding any points.
Yeah, Siobhan Nethercutt that was, putting on serious pressure. English once again. Lowndes now. 2 to shoot it. And gonna run out of time. Nope. I know we spoke about this last time. There was no urgency in communication.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right read on offense. It just came too late, really. It was a good curl from, I think, Jess White to get Alana Brand under the basket, but I think, yeah, just lack of shot clock awareness, just meaning that the ball didn't move as early enough and missed out on the opportunity.
Carrigill finds Wiemenhofer at the top of the key. Now Steele puts it up. And again, it's just a little bit short from Steele. Again, clearly very comfortable shooting from that area of the floor. Lowndes found White. Brand now in the corner, hemmed in. Hands in her face, still gets the shot away. Little too strong. Carrigill with the find for Steele.
So we see Phoenix moving in numbers with a 4-on-3.
Steele puts it up from the painted area, makes no mistakes.
Phoenix there again converting on a number advantage in their offense as a consequence of a man out in Lightning's own backcourt.
English gets over the timeline to Brand. Crone Brown again putting the pressure now. She's been picked up by Debbie Steele. Good find underneath. And Lowndes makes no mistake.
Seen a good run from Holly Lowndes here in this second quarter, picking up some points and getting herself in the right position, getting the open lane actually in multiple occasions for a layup.
It's Conroy. Diverted off her intended path, finds Wiemenhofer, puts it down, good for two. Gonna go for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
It's great work from Zena to score through a triple team there with 3 Loughborough Lightning players around her, showing her class and efficiency around the basket.
Changes coming. Onto the floor is Anna Blees and Jess Atherley. Taking a break was Alana Brand and Siobhan Nethercott. Back iron, no good from Wiemenhofer on the and one play. Got to move it, and they do. It's a Blees. Forced into the corner. 8 seconds to shoot it. Not been able to find her pass just yet. Lowndes, the player in form at the buzzer. Good for two.
Tell you what, I think Lightning need to be making a note of Holly Lowndes making these mismatch shots and try and find them more often in their offense, because she's been shooting with good efficiency from there.
Steele sending it underneath to Conroy, doesn't go. 17 seconds on the clock, and that's going to be a timeout taken. It's not going to be a timeout taken, forgive me. I thought I saw something that I didn't. 17 seconds to work. Holly Lowndes finds Blees. Blees puts it up herself, and it's good for two more. Loughborough coming alive in the second period. Van der Sprung is going to run out of time at the end of two. East London Phoenix, they're up, but they're not having it all their own way. They lead the Loughborough Lightning 32-15 after 20 minutes of play.
Well, I think, Darren, if you're the Loughborough Lightning, you've got to be extremely happy with that quarter. Looking at our stats here, that shows that Phoenix only won that quarter by 1 point, I believe. That's a 12-11 quarter. And Loughborough have to be happy with that. That shows that on both sides of the floor, in their defense and in their offense, they've been a bit more composed, they've been making the right reads, being more physical with their chairs, and coming out with such a better performance compared to the first quarter, which shows that they're growing into the game, they're growing their confidence, and I think they can be really happy with that, not just for this game, but also for their entire season. To push a very dominant team like the Phoenix to a 12-11 quarter, I think can give them a lot of hope going forward.
Absolutely. I mean, today isn't all about today. It's about the journey, it's about the process, it's about developing what is a very young Loughborough team. And also, this is a test, but they know they've got they've got most of their games left to play against teams that they feel they're going to be very, very competitive with. I'll tell you what I liked about that last play as well. We've been talking about Holly Lowndes, rightfully so. She's been having the hot hand for Loughborough. But who took the shot? It was Anna Blees.
That's it, and I think also you look at that read on that pick and roll situation, if I remember correctly, Anastasia had the opportunity to force the dump down into Kaylee English going in for the layup, but she saw that one final defender left, that Phoenix player whose name eludes me at the moment, couldn't remember who it was, but they saw them sink in to go towards English's layup, and Anastasia managed to make that last second decision to go, okay, this is my shot. Because you see in that pick and roll situation, you always want to end up with a 2-on-1. But what good defenders will do is try and sit in between you with the ball and your player that's going on the roll and try and force a difficult decision. Blees did a good job and used her composure well to understand that in that position it was her shot, and she made it for a final 2 points, giving Loughborough a nice bit of momentum in this halftime.
Absolutely. It feels like they've really got the momentum, but of course they're still down, and they're still down by or away. East London Phoenix. I mean, it's another strong performance from them in the second. What's gone well for them in this first half?
I think especially in the first quarter, their press did a great job in rattling the Loughborough's offense and forcing many turnovers and steals and easy lanes to the basket. I think their offensive transition is fantastic as well. I have to point out the great work of Phoenix's low pointers of Sophie Carrigill, Corin Brown, Sophie Patterson, that do a great job in just stopping the Loughborough defenders getting back, which does give the easy lanes for Amy Conroy, Zena Wimmenhofer to get under the basket and get those easy twos, and it's great to see a full team performance there to get those easy ones.
Now, you're talking about some of the low pointers putting in that sort of work. I saw Wimmenhofer as well. She was working really hard to just cut off some defenders getting back, and even Conroy. Again, she's got that electric pace that allows her to do some of the, I don't know, do we call it the nitty-gritty?
I call it the donkey work.
The donkey work,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So doing some of the donkey work, I like that. And then absolutely rifling on to get in the action.
100%. I mean, the donkey work for me isn't the fancy stuff. It's not the stuff that's all over the team sheet. It's not the stuff that people are going to rave about during or after the game, but it's the stuff that puts points on the board because it gets other players open. It opens up the entire offense and gets those easy scores.
Do you know what it is as well, from a commentary point of view? Not to, dip behind the curtain, distracting.
Yes.
Because you see it and you notice it and you...
Yeah, man. It's true.
It's good stuff. Well, I think was that our learning segment today?
I think today's term is donkey work for people to sort of revise and absorb. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, well, that is going to do it for us from the first half here at the UEL Sports Dock in London. We'll be back about 2 or so minutes before the resumption of what is a huge rivalry game. At half-time, UEL Sports Dock, it is the East London Phoenix. They're leading the way, 32-15 over the Loughborough Lightning. A very warm welcome back into the UEL Sports Dock here in London for this BWB Women's Premier League clash between the East London Phoenix and the Loughborough Lighting. East London, they had a great opening period. They dominated really 20-4. They haven't had it all their own way in the second period, just edging it 12-11 over the Loughborough Lightning. Joel Clifton, what are you hoping to see this second half from both of these sides, really?
Well, to be honest, Darren, I'm interested to see how both teams come out energy-wise in this next quarter. Are Phoenix going to try and sort of regain their principles and regain their control over the game and come out with that firepower like they did in the first? Or are Loughborough going to continue clawing back at this and forcing them into offences they don't want and putting that pressure on their defence, and the likes of Lowndes and Blees making their shots and taking the right shots? It'd be interesting to see how each team sort of accelerates into this quarter and what the dynamics come out at the end of the third, because I think really in many games the third quarter is the most crucial to see sort of how the tide of the game ends up, I believe. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they come into it.
Yeah, I fully agree with you on the importance of a hot start. Again, a little bit of momentum went the way of Loughborough to finish the second. Do you know, I'm just looking at numbers now. It's not as much as it felt like, but it felt like they were really having a moment.
I think it did. I think it's because of the first quarter being such a dominant performance from the Phoenix that you look at the scoreline now and go, well, the game's still gone. But I think you've got to take the positives away from those minute details. In games like this, where it's going to be very challenging for Loughborough to take the win, I think you've got to look at those small moments, right? When did we set up a good offense? And why was it good? And how can we replicate that? And then the same on defense. When did we stop the Phoenix well? Why did that happen? And how can we replicate that? Those are the things that are going to force the team to build and grow as the season goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I mean, this game is a very long way away from being done, especially if Loughborough can get themselves into a really hot start. It will be the Phoenix to take it up the floor for the first time in this second half. Julia van der Sprung. It's Beth Wheeler-Carrigill. Oh, that's a lovely disguised pass. Wiemenhofer, just a little too strong. Got the look she would have wanted. Loughborough got the outcome that they absolutely needed. As Holly Lowndes, such an impressive 9-point first period, as that's been taken away by Julia van der Sprung. And van der Sprung looking to take it all along her own way, puts it down for two.
So a great read from Van der Sprung there. You could tell she knew where the pass was going next for the Lightning and could easily intercept and go coast to coast to make that layup.
As Blees was starting to really drive, eventually halted in her path. Just off the mark there from Holly Lowndes. As Julia van der Sprung kicks it to Wheeler. Wheeler, patient, moving away from the basket, puts it up. And that's going to be won again by van der Sprung. Great find. And a finish from Wiemenhofer.
It's a great pass from Sophie Carrigill across the key, threaded the needle right through to Zaina Wiemenhofer under the basket, who converts as we see this suffocating press from the Phoenix.
Oh, they do a good job to break it though, as Anna Blees one-on-one with the Paralympic champion van der Sprung. Playing keep away with it. Oh, just a little bit. Asked a bit too much from Kaylee English there.
And now we see Phoenix with advantage in this offensive transition.
As DB Steele finds a shot just off the mark, but Wiemenhofer puts it down for two on the offensive rebounds. English being held up on the timeline, and van der Sprung is really on it in this third period. Finds Wiemenhofer to Wheeler. Wheeler taking it underneath, puts it down for two. 40 plays 15.
That was a fantastic movement from the Phoenix, from the steal down on the halfway line, with the great hustle from Sophie Carrigill, and then the great ball movement actually in the final pass from Zina Wimmenhofer to Beth Wheeler right under the basket.
Lowndes that evades the triple team. Atherley takes it over the timeline, finds herself in the paint. English looking around for options. Has Lowndes come to support. Moves outside of her. That's a big skip pass. Blee's got to get the shot up. 2 seconds to put it up. Just too strong. And again, communication from the bench. As Steele whips it over to Van der Sprung. Doesn't go that time. Very rare miss from Van der Sprung. There's substitution on the floor. Jess Atherley taking a break. Checking back into the contest is Niamh Horan. Ellesmere Port's very own. It's Carrigill. Little two-player action. Can't get the finish from... I mean, that looked like a really tough angle for me. As that's going to be Wimmenhofer again.
Great pressure there from the Phoenix press to force the turnover.
Van der Sprung finds Wheeler, who again is patient with it. She's got that 3 in her locker, chooses not to use it. A steal is bumped by English. 8 seconds to shoot it. Wheeler puts it up, puts it down. The long 2 was boneless.
Good patience there from Beth Wheeler, moving the ball around and receiving it back and spotting up behind the screen in the position she wants, and knocks it down for a long range 2.
Oh, Blees was looking to get by. Finds Horan. Good find, good finish. Niamh Horan for 2.
It's a great cut there from Horan, using her pace to find a lane to the basket, and actually to finish under that speed. You know, she didn't manage to stop her chair in any manner. It's a great show of composure and efficiency under the basket.
Very positive possession. As Wimmenhofer not able to finish the first time, nor the second, as White gets it for Loughborough. Again, they were under pressure. Was Wimmenhofer over the timeline to Blees. As English setting screens. 5 to shoot it. It's in the hands of Horan, who hoiks up the effort. Not a million miles away.
Yeah. Unfortunate there for the Lightning, being forced into a shot they didn't want at the end of the shot clock, as we see young Leah Smith checking into the game. Number 9 for number 13, Beth Wheeler, and also Amy Conroy comes into the game as Zina Wimmenhofer takes a break.
42 plays 17. East London Phoenix have really kicked it up a notch in this third period of play. And Julia Van der Sprung, as that's an offensive foul. DB Steele.
One of my favourite things in life, Darren, is the sound of a good foot plate. And as much as that was a charge from DB Steele there, I appreciate the physicality and the aggression.
Mild-mannered Joel Clifton on the call. As Blees puts it up, puts it down. Very good finish under pressure from Sophie Carrigill.
It's a great two-man game there from Blees and English. Again, Anastasia making the right choice and taking the right shot and converting for another 2.
Amy Conroy really driving, finds Van der Sprung, finds Steele, finds the basket. Playing with freedom and a smile on their faces, those 3.
Great ball movement from the Phoenix to find the open player. As we see Jess White with the ball at the top of the key for the Lightning.
Absolutely is, and that's a pass to nobody. It was in between players. And now Smith. Can they get there? Not quite. And Horan had closed off her route to the basket had she been able to get to it. In any case, as Bland will replace Holly Lowndes.
Just maybe an overly ambitious pass there to Leah Smith and just beyond her reach. She'll be upset with that one, I know, but there's a long game left for her to find her rhythm.
Oh, it's Conroy. Picks the pocket. Has Van der Sprung ahead. Finds Van der Sprung. Good for 2 more. They call her the Queen.
Do they now? There you go. There you go. Great work
That's what they tell me.
From Conroy to steal that ball and a good find. And Van der Sprung's not going to miss many of those wide open layups.
White and the charity stripe has Van der Sprung for company. Now it's with Blees. 8 seconds. Goes early-ish in the shot clock. Doesn't go. Great defensive pressure. Conroy able to evade it. Van der Sprung is picked up initially by English. That'll find Steele. Steele automatic from there. Good for 2 more using the glass.
DB Steele cleaning up on that potential turnover there as the pass couldn't find Conroy and converts. And Conroy with a steal in her offense now, waiting for the rest of the team to join her.
Conroy now has support with Smith. Van der Sprung back inside to Conroy, and she's going to go to the stripe to shoot 2.
Great hustle there from Amy Conroy to steal the ball back and give the Phoenix an extra offense and draw a foul.
I think the foul was called on White. In any case, a timeout has been taken, and it's been taken by the Loughborough Lightning head coach George Bates, as his side are down 48-19, and they've just sent Conroy to the stripe to shoot 2.
Yeah, I think maybe in this timeout, head coach George Bates will want to bring the defense of the Lightning back to where it was in that second quarter. I think they've had a bit too many lapses, maybe some turnovers that they didn't need, with steals from Van der Sprung and Conroy leading to fast break layups. That just means that points have been racking up on the board for the Phoenix. So just a reminder to be smart with their passes on offense and get back to the defense and stop chairs early and prevent those quick buckets which are hurting them at the moment.
It's a 16-6 quarter so far in favour of East London Phoenix. Again, they have really come out with intent, and I think for me a lot of it has been from Van der Sprung.
Yeah, exactly. She showed her class there with the reads to get the steals, and she's making her layups at speed down the floor. They're making the right pass as well, Phoenix. I feel like the ball movement in their offense is very nice, finding DB Steele wide open on that left baseline, left 45 area a few times as she's converting. I just think like you said, they've come out with intensity. It's something I said just at the end of halftime. Who's going to come out with the energy in this third quarter? And it's been the Phoenix.
Conroy at the charity stripe. Gets it to go. One of 2. Oh, sorry, the first of 2. As Smith will retreat into the backcourt to pick up English. Gets them both to go. She hasn't missed a shot so far, Conroy. 14 points, 6 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from the stripe.
Impressive numbers.
As White, with space, didn't think about shooting. Finds Blees, as there's a lot of contact.
To say Darren love a good foot plate, but sometimes you get called for it, as Leah Smith found out there. Just noticed that number 2 for the Phoenix, Amy Smith, has joined the game for the first time.
That's Blees battling her way into the paint. Oh, scores it from the top.
Now that was a beautiful offense from the Lightning there. Jess White's top curl around that last player, giving Blees the little lane into the top of the key was beautiful to see. Great team play and great offense there.
Steele with the ball handling responsibilities, finds Conroy. 2 more.
There you go, Darren. Still yet to miss for Amy Conroy. Let's see if she can go the game without missing a shot. That'd be very impressive.
I mean, if there's anybody who's going to do it, Amy Conroy is somebody that you would certainly back. As Blees puts it up. Oh, very nearly. I think it was just slightly short. Conroy driving. Has the Smiths. Has Steele in support. It's Conroy going inside. Fouled. Going to go to the line to shoot 2. And I think that's been called on Neve Horan. George Bates not happy with the call. It is on Neve Horan. What was that? Are you able to break down that play for us just quickly?
I feel like it was one of those that's a bit open for debate, a bit of chair contact that's open to interpretation, and George Bates seemed to have some qualms there for the referees, which they smoothly shut down, but sometimes that's basketball. It's a subjective game for a referee at times.
1 of 2 from Conroy.
Maybe we jinxed it down there. She's had her first miss of the game, and that could be our fault.
Shot goes up. Just short. From Leah Smith. DB Steele extending her range. Good for 2 more.
I love the double screen there from Amy Smith and Leah Smith, making DB Steele wide open on that left baseline to convert there. Fantastic work from the 2 youngsters.
Blees trying to get some space down low, finds English underneath. Oh, fine finish from English. Very high on the backboard. 55 plays 23.
That's a great make through contact for Kaylee English there. She was trailed hard by Julia van der Sprung, I believe, and converts very well.
That's a lot of contact. Foul called on White. .6 seconds on the 3rd period play clock. Leah Smith finds Van der Sprung. Goes underneath. Just short. Horan battling away. Conroy puts it down with just seconds to spare.
Excellent pass there from Amy Smith to feed Conroy in the key as we come to a close in this 3rd quarter.
End of 3, 57 plays 23. East London and Phoenix, they're in the lead and they have regained control. But I want you to finish your thought.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's with that final assist there from Amy Smith, finding Amy Conroy in the paint. It's great to see the 2 youngsters of Leah Smith and Amy Smith, the twins from Scotland, coming into the game in this 3rd quarter, and the intensity not dropping whatsoever, showing that they can keep up with the pace of this game and make the right reads and fit in this Women's Premier League, which is a fantastic thing to see.
Yeah, so I was told before game that they've taken to calling Julia, and when I say they, I mean Amy Conroy, calling Julia van der Sprung Julio the Queen.
Yep.
And Julio the Queen, born in Gouda.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Of the cheese fame.
Fun facts, man.
Fun facts. Let's talk about this game.
Yes.
Talk to me about what Phoenix have done really well in that last 10 minutes of play. They are up 25-8 in that period, which exceeds any of their output so far in this game.
I feel like they kind of just locked back in, as one might say. They came back to their principles. I think offensively, the difference going from scoring 12 points in the 2nd quarter to 25 there in the 3rd quarter is the big difference. They've been calm and composed on their shots. They found the right shots. They've made the shots. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to rack up 25 points in a quarter, you're likely to win that quarter. We've seen some good little moments from the Lightning here. Great pick and roll action. Kaylee English making shots through contact. Anastasia Blees working through brilliant top curls from Jess White. But I feel like the transition and the speed of the Phoenix just to get down the floor quicker than the Lightning and get open is what's racked up the points in that 3rd quarter for me.
Still some positives, absolutely, for the Lightning to have taken from that 10 minutes of action. We've got 10 more to play. We are back underway. There's Niamh Horan. He's going to get to her spot on the floor, looking for the pass. It's White at the top. Good find for Blees. A little bit too strong. And that's going to be Karen Brown, who's changed their number to 24 for this game.
Just to throw us off. There you go.
Takes it down as Carrigill. Great find inside. Wiebenhofer just slightly short. Horan with the rebound. As that was passed short. Carrigill. It's Conroy now. No good. And Steele is there. Got the first rebound. White steals it. And Blees driving away. Blees with the basket. Makes no mistakes.
Tell you what, it was good pressure from the Phoenix to get that steal on that offense, but a great transition response from the Lightning to get Anastasia Blees open with a wide open layup, and as she converts there for another 2.
Conroy dumps it off inside to Wiemenhofer. Gets it on the 3rd attempt. Getting her own rebounds.
There you go. All for the statistics. I like that, Zena. Got to rack those rebounds up.
59 plays 25. And it's White. Kicks it to the corner with Blees. Over the top. Good find, good finish, Brand. And I want to say, really good chair control as well.
Fantastic, yeah, good pick and roll action from Blees and Brand there. Brand timing her pick and her cut into the lane, and gets a nice shot in the key there, which she converts for 2.
It's Conroy. Is impeded in her path. Gets the shot up. Gets the shot down. Good for 2 more. Amy Conroy takes it to 21 points on the day.
It's a great work from Carrigo and Conroy there on their side, just finding the right shot for Conroy to convert. Showing great team play and understanding between these 2 GB international players.
Blees once again in that corner on the baseline. So, foul called on Curran Brown. You're going to have to talk us through that one, please.
And that's just some slightly assertive chair contact there, one might say. Just a bit too aggressive, I think, on Blees' side wheel there, holding, maybe stopping her from pushing her chair in a legal manner.
As Blees gets the shot up. Not able to get it on the 1st attempt. The 2nd just rolls over. And that's Conroy. With space to roam, finds Wiemenhofer underneath. And it goes.
Another great transition move there from the Phoenix. Patience from Conroy's behalf. Could have taken the shot herself, but decided to find the more open Zena Wiemenhofer, who converts for another 2.
White on the outside once again. And Brand.
There might have been.
She had. It looked like there was contact on that shot.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit of contact. Unfortunate not to get the call.
Solid defense, some would call it, as Conroy battling through. What a finish, Conroy. Borderline falling out of her chair with a righty finish.
Yeah, a bit of finesse there, a bit of flair to convert that one down on the or the left baseline, sorry. Fantastic work from Conroy.
Again, absolutely box office action down here at the Sports Dock as that attempt doesn't go. Conroy with the rebound. Players driving out to the wing. Great job by Steele keeping Blees out of the action. Shot just off the mark. A little bit too strong that time. Lena Brand over the timeline. Still driving. Has English in this near side corner. White. Finds Horan. Puts it up. Just a dash too short. And another rebound for Conroy. Make that 7 on the outing. With 6:02 left to play, Conroy gets to her spot, makes no mistakes.
Yeah, Curran Brown does a great job there, just curling Conroy into an easy 2 under the basket. That's fantastic work from the low pointer there.
As White just able to drift into her spot. Doesn't go, but why wouldn't you take the shot in that situation?
Exactly. Sometimes you've got to just see the basket and shoot the ball.
As Steele, again, more good jack control, finds Wiemenhofer. Doesn't go. Horan pulls down a very difficult defensive rebound. Had players everywhere there. As Blees kicks it forward to White. White finds Horan. Good play by the Lightning. Unfortunate on the shot attempt, just off to the right. Just about 5 minutes to play in this contest. 67 plays 27. East London Phoenix are in the lead. Neither side giving an inch right now, as 3 seconds is called on Wiemenhofer. And a timeout has been called by the East London Phoenix head coach, Ade Orugbemi.
Yeah, maybe he's just called this timeout to remind his team of what the plan is to sort of round out this game, what kind of principles and discipline that they want to put out onto the floor in terms of how they play their offense and defense. I think maybe just making the right read on offense and preventing sort of turnovers like that 3-second call there from Zaina there. Let's find her when she gets in the key, because she's not going to miss from those areas. That's the danger zone for them. That's the easy point farming opportunities. And maybe just be a bit more switched on to who the shooters are from Loughborough Lightning. I mean, being switched on to jump out on Anastasia Blees when she's behind a screen and cover if they get the pick and roll, because Alana Brand inside is not going to miss many shots. So maybe just want to calm them down and remind them of what the plan is to round out this game and finish on a high point.
Absolutely. I mean, you and I discussed it last time we were here at the Sports Dock that, you know, certain coaches, he's currently up, his side's up by 40, but he's seen something he doesn't like or something that we can improve on. Bring him in, have a chat about it, and then let's go and execute.
Exactly, because no matter what the score, every game is a learning experience. Every game is an opportunity to practice the principles you've been working on in training, and you don't want to be picking up bad habits. Even if you are 40 points up, you need to be making sure that you do the things that need to be done to play good basketball.
And we have seen some real good basketball today, as it's White. Lowndes puts it up just a little bit too short from Lowndes that time. As Julia van der Sprung driving forward with it. Gets to the elbow, finds Carrigill. Now Steele, who's had some good makes so far today. I think that was last touch Conroy. Good defensive pressure there from Lowndes and English.
Yeah, good job from Lowndes to get a last touch on that intercepted pass and force a turnover.
Nethercott. Drop back to Brand, back to Nethercott. A little bit unfortunate on the finish, but a stroke of good luck for the Lightning as that's turned over.
I like that two-man game from Nethercott and Brand there, just going for a mismatch, and then when the double comes to prevent the mismatch shot, Nethercott had a wide-open layup, just couldn't convert. See if they go to run a similar play here.
As it is Nethercott. Gonna put it up herself. As van der Sprung taking it the other way. Options to aim for. Again, pass between two players. Amy Conroy not quite able to gather that in. There's a nice little tip pass there to White. Finds Nethercott. And again, just off the mark. Julia van der Sprung. Big communication there from Carrigill. Finds Steele underneath. Steele. Back iron.
Couple of offensive errors in a row there from the Phoenix, just meaning they're struggling to find the basket like they have been previously in this game.
We're going to see Wiemenhofer checking back in, and we're going to see Amy Smith as well into the contest, I think. As Lowndes puts it up just short. That's going to be picked up by Carrigill. Carrigill working hard to evade the 8-second call and evade Loughborough defense. Great ball movement this time. Just rolls around on van der Sprung. But Amy Conroy is there to mop up. And a timeout called by the Loughborough Lightning. 69 plays 27. 2:14 left in the contest.
Yeah, I feel like we might have seen a bit of a shaky few minutes there from the Phoenix. A couple of unnecessary turnovers, a couple of poor passes, a couple of bad reads, which Coach Orugbemi would want to clear up in this timeout. From a Loughborough Lightning perspective, we've seen some good plays on offense. We've seen some open shots. I'd like to see Nethercott and Brand running that mismatch side together. That looked good at points. It's one of those now where you just have to see, right, how can we focus on dialing in these next few plays to get the things that we want from an offensive perspective, and also force on defense, force the wrong shot or the shot that we want the Phoenix to be taking. If we can get into that half-court defense set, then Loughborough give them the best chance of finishing this game strong and in a positive manner going into the next few games of the season.
Yeah, since the previous timeout, about 2 or so minutes previous, 2 points, which is probably the longest lull we've had in this whole game.
That's it. I think that shows a good bit of cracking down on the defense from the Lightning and a bit of shakes from the Phoenix as they just close off this game in maybe a bit less discipline than they usually would.
But also, they didn't concede during that time either, the East London Phoenix, as we are back underway. Lowndes puts it up, puts it down.
Been a good little part of her game in this game, I think, Holly Lowndes, with those mismatched shots on the elbow. That's a good string to have to her bow going forward into the rest of her career.
That's Conroy looking at the options. Vines Wiemenhofer, good off the glass for 2 more. Takes Wiemenhofer's total to 24 points on 52% shooting. Wiemenhofer picks up White at the top. And that's going to be picked off by Van der Sprung. Another steal, another good read. And it's Conroy. It's a 3-on-1. And it's Wiemenhofer making no mistakes once again.
Great transition work using their speed and chair skills there. Conroy, Van der Sprung and Wiemenhofer to get the easy 2 points from that fast break layup.
I mean, that is a formidable trio bearing down on any team. As that's been tipped into the hands of Conroy. Great defense. And now Amy Smith taking it up the floor. Kicks it ahead to Van der Sprung. To Conroy. Very good patient build-up. 6 seconds to shoot it. Conroy puts it up. Conroy puts it down.
Very
29 on the day.
Yeah, it's a nice clean shot, all string. Getting to the end of the shot clock, she had to make that decision to put that shot up and converts it for a long range too.
Under a minute to play. And again, both teams playing the full 40. I mean, just look at the strength of the respective lineups. They know they'll meet again as White puts her in a spin cycle but lost the handle. Wiemenhofer kicks it forward to Van der Sprung. He'll do well to keep it in, does well to keep it in. Kicks it back over to Wiemenhofer, puts it down. The Dutch connection.
There you go, the chemistry between those two has got to be respected. You know, they're international gold medalists, so they're going to know how to read each other and how to make the plays to get the easy points.
Over the timeline, it's White. And I think that Loughborough choosing to dribble this one out. And that will do it. At the Sports Dock, the East London Phoenix have taken a big victory over their storied rivals. 77-29 over the Loughborough Lightning.
Yeah, I think as a consequence of the history between these two teams, Phoenix as an organisation will be very happy to be finally getting Loughborough's card and winning this match-up here today. I think we can draw some positives and some rooms for improvement for both teams across this game. You know, Phoenix did a great job coming out with intensity and pressing on defense and making those fast break offensive transition moves to get the open lane and the open basket and rack up points early and keep it that way and keep the margin large across the game. But I also think Loughborough did a good job to fight back with that 12 to 11 point second quarter and showed some great principles in their offense, some great two-man games, pick and rolls being run, curls being run, and then some great talent being showed from their players. So I think it's been an enjoyable game to watch, Darren, and I'm excited to see how Loughborough progress into this season with this being only their second game.
No, absolutely, and I think that's an important thing to remember. George Bates, the head coach of Loughborough Lightning, he gets a good amount of time with his players, but this is only the second time they've played together all year as a unit, and I mean, this is now game number 5 for the East London Phoenix. Let's talk about your game winners. Let's talk about the East London Phoenix. So what did we see today? What really stood out to you that we like?
I think really it's their speed and their physicality from 1 to 5. Every single player on the floor, you can tell that they're in shape and they understand the role and what they're trying to do on the court, and that is what allows their press to be so effective. When low pointers like Sophie Carrigill, Corin Brown can be keeping up with 4-pointers, 4.5-pointers across the floor, whether that's keeping them as a man out or stopping them on defense, it just means that they can get down the floor quicker than the Loughborough Lightning opposition, and that's what leads to many, many points in the paint that they picked up today. So I think that's really positive, that they know they're in a great position for the rest of the season. They've had convincing wins across all other teams now in the league. So they've got to be happy looking forward into the future, heading towards the last games of the regular season and into playoffs in May.
Talk to me about what you've seen from the Loughborough Lightning today. Again, we know it's a new team, it's a new look for them, it's a new reality for them in a lot of ways. But I think we've seen some real positives in this game.
Yeah, some excellent moments for sure. I think they did a great job keeping up with the intensity of the Phoenix, and they didn't put their heads down, they didn't give up at any point, they stuck to their principles. I think it's really exciting to see young players like Holly Lowndes and Anastasia Blees, coming up and scoring some points for the Loughborough Lightning and making the right reads on offense, knowing what to do when they go behind a screen. I also think that Holly Lowndes' mismatch game has improved a lot since I last watched her play. I didn't know that was a string that she had on her bow, and she showed that she can score from the edge of the key. She can find the low pointer and make points that way. So some promising stuff, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Loughborough match up against the other 3 teams in the league outside of Phoenix across the season.
So let's go to your players of the game. Firstly, your Loughborough Lightning player of the game.
I think I mentioned her name just previously there. Today I'm going to give my man of the match for Loughborough to Holly Lowndes for her 11 points, going 50% from the field. I think a game like this where the Phoenix defense is so suffocating, shooting at 50% is a decent margin. And like I said, I didn't know that she had the mismatch game like she did. Scoring on the elbow over another player with a hand in the face is a difficult skill to learn and to perform when it matters under pressure like this in a game situation. So my player of the match is Holly Lowndes for the Lightning.
I fully agree. Holly Lowndes gets my Stedden again award. Anna Blees, just a hat tip to Anna Blees as well. One of the leading scorers in this game, 10 points on the day, and again had a huge amount of responsibility in terms of bringing the ball up the floor.
Yes, 100%. Impressed with her. I've known that she's an offensive threat with the ball, and she's very willing to put the ball in the hole when she needs to. So that's great to see from Anastasia. And
your ELP, your East London Phoenix player of the game.
Yes, Darren. So I don't always like to give player of the game to the person that scored the most points, because I know that basketball is so much more than just who puts the ball in the hole. But that being said, something I really can't ignore looking at the stats we've got here is Amy Conroy going 86% from the field. I think if you have an 86% shooting game with 29 points, you're likely to get the man of the match, because it shows that as a 4-pointer, her job is to put the ball in the hole, and she did that very effectively today. So she's going to be putting up numbers like this across the season. Phoenix is going to be a hard unit to beat.
Oh, absolutely. And spoiler alert, Amy Conroy has been putting up numbers like this across the season. Absolutely fantastic outing from her. 29 points, 13 of 15 from the field, 9 rebounds. Again, I've got to give a second name as well. Sena Wiemenhofer, 28 points in the contest, 59% shooting, 6 rebounds. Again, a fabulous day for her. But some huge performances from both sides. Your final thoughts on today's contest?
Final thoughts are that I think it's been an exciting game to watch. I've enjoyed myself. It's the first time I've seen this new Loughborough unit play in the flesh, and I'm excited to see what they can do and where they'll finish in the league standings, and how the sort of semi-final matchups will look running into playoffs in May. And for the Phoenix, I think it's just keep doing what you're doing. Stick with your principles. Clearly what they've been doing is working, because they've had convincing wins throughout the first half of this season. Both teams have impressed me in areas, and I'm looking forward to see how the rest of the season unfolds.
Well, thank you very much for today, Joel. Next up for you Loughborough Lightning fans, you guys are away at Cardiff on the 15th of March. That is a 5:15 p.m. tip-off. For the East London Phoenix, you are also on the road in your matchup. It's against Loughborough, 21st of March, a 6:30 tip-off. Well, All leaves us stays. A huge thank you for joining us here for this BWB Women's Premier League clash. It has been won by the East London Phoenix at home, 77-29 over the Loughborough Lightning.